Well, we're trending towards $1 billion in sales per year.
Yes. Trending towards $1 billion of sales per year. How many customers?
Oh my God, 1 million plus.
Million plus customers.
It's amazing.
They are two guys from the Midwest, good old boys, hockey boys, like they're just good old boys, grew up hardworking. But they wanted to create something bigger and a bigger movement in this world that was bigger than themselves. If you're here today because you want to build a platform that's all about you, like this isn't the place that you probably need to be. There's a lot of social media influencers that are all consumed about themselves out there. This is about building a platform that's bigger than you. And guess what? You'll get paid. And so I met these two guys, and I'm actually speaking at their event today. I was up on their stage today. These are guys that have built a 9-figure platform. And bigger than that, are changing people's health across the world. And there's a couple of things that stand out to me about what they've done that I love, that they're going to come talk about. What has allowed them to build something from the ground up? They weren't passed it along. They weren't inherited it. They built it from the ground up. And it's unbelievable. I want you guys to welcome to the platform tour Jack Fallon and John Licari. Yeah, give it up. Yes.
All right, thank you. Jack will be here in a second.
Okay, Jack. All right.
We just got done with our first session, so he's running over here as we speak.
No, I love it.
Well, thank you, bro. Thanks for having me on the tour, and I'm just honored to be here, man. I love what this stands for and how you're helping with sex trafficking, and it's like, that really kind of like connected with me right away. And thank you for explaining to me exactly what sex tracficking means, because I think most of us don't know.
Yeah, they don't know. Bro, I'm blown away. How many, so over here I'm here because we get to do, they're a client of ours, and I love what they stand for. Total Life Changes is making a big difference in this world. How many people right now are listening on your platform from how many different nations? I mean,
oh shoot, man. Well, we actually touch 170 different countries through Total Life Changes, where we either direct shipped or we have actually 17 offices around the world.
170 countries. How many do you think are here today?
We probably in person and virtually, we probably have about 100 countries, represented at this moment.
Guys,
it's amazing.
100 countries.
Yeah.
And y'all started building this platform in what year? Tell us a little bit about that story.
Well, this is one heck of a story. So 1994, Jack Fallon, my friend, my mentor, my best friend, and my business partner, we met in an assembly line at Ford Motor Company. 1994, as fate would have it, as God would wanted it, we ended up next to each other. We established a friendship, and he started talking to me about this whole network marketing thing, and I just kept on telling him like you would probably tell someone, Pete, right? You come from that world. It's like, man, that's a scam. That's a cult, man. Like, I want nothing to do with that. So, we bickered back and forth for about 5 or 6 years about that. And then, but obviously we became close, right? We became really good friends. We hit it off right away. And then in 1999, for the first time ever, he stopped me in my tracks. And I always tell people this because I think this is really, really important. Because remember, I'm a non-believer at this moment. Right? And
anybody have non-believers out there? Anybody have non-believers? Like, I have non-believers, by the way. All of us have non-believers. Has somebody said, lots of laughs, yeah.
This is huge, like what I'm about to say, and because it's so important. It's such a huge part of my story. So in 1999, after 5 years of hearing about, hey, this business opportunity, we can, it helps people become better versions of themselves, and you got to get exposed to this new world that you're not being exposed to. And I was like, what does that even mean? Like, that just sounds weird to me. So, but in 1999, Jack Fallon comes into that auto assembly plant on the assembly line, 5 in the morning, fired up, like passionate, man. That's why passion is so important.
So he's still working full time at
We're still working full time at Ford. He's got this dream. He's doing his, his network marketing business part time. Tell me how great it is, even though he's failing at it. But he comes in one day with this moment of passion that just stops me for the first time in 5 years. And now, instead of hearing him, I'm actually listening. And that's why I think this is so powerful, really, what I'm about to say. He comes in, and for the very first time in 5 years, I listened instead of just hearing him. And why? Because he was so damn passionate about an idea. He said, Johnny, called me Johnny back then. He still calls me Johnny now. You know, everyone knows me as John Licari. He said, Johnny, you're not going to believe it. I've got this awesome idea. He goes, do you know, like, people are taking vitamins every day and it's not absorbing in their body. And I want to come out with the liquid multivitamin so people get the whole entire nutrients that they're supposed to get. And did you know that the food supply has changed in 50 years and people aren't getting the vitamins, they're not getting the minerals, they're being cheated, and we can save the world. And I still didn't believe him. But man, that passion stopped me in my tracks. So I tell people all the time, Pete, it's like, man, if you're passionate about something, I'll listen. You know, if you're passionate about golfing, maybe I don't want, nothing to do with it, but I'll sit there and listen, man, like really. And so that passion stopped me, and I finally listened, and then I kind of wanted him to succeed. So I'm like, you know what, I want your passion to become a reality. Right? So now that started to change me a little bit. And I'm like, bro, man, like, I don't know if that's going to work, but okay, good luck to you, right? But at least I wasn't an adversary to it anymore.
Wow.
Right? And why? Because it was this product. Now this idea was like of a product that could help millions of people. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to fight with him anymore, but I'm not going to help him either. Right?
Well, he had moved you out of adversary into neutral.
Exactly, right? So that was the moment. So the passion got me into the neutral, right? Then what happens is he goes and starts it. Out of the trunk of his car on the factory floor, people are coming, buying the vitamin, telling you, hey, I'll pay you next week, but I knew they weren't paying him next week. And he was selling NutriBurst all over the place. I knew he was unorganized. There was NutriBurst in his car on the floor. There was receipts everywhere. It was total chaos. But he was passionate about it, and people loved the product, and they felt it, and they were so, so grateful for it, right? So a couple years later, we're in 2002 now, he comes, in that moment of passion again, and he's like, I got to take this thing to network marketing. I got to do peer-to-peer. I got to have people be advocates for this thing.
Because he was just doing it on his own.
Yeah, and that was really the only way, that you could really kind of expand, right? Like if you don't have the money.
A distribution, yep.
Right, we needed this distribution, right? So I still wasn't part of it. So he starts it. I said, good luck to you. I can't do that. I've got young children. I don't have any time. I was actually running a side hustle myself at the time, doing landscaping on top of the Ford Motor Company career. So he goes ahead and starts. And about a year later, 2003, here's the other moment that kind of changed everything for us. He comes into work, kind of like his face was different. When you love someone and you spend some time with them, like when something's off, right? And you kind of like, it pulls you to say, like, hey, is everything okay at home? What's wrong? So something was wrong, and I knew it. And what was wrong was, and he admitted it to me, he said, I just can't keep up with all the phone calls. I can't keep up with the orders. I just really need help. Do you think you could help me?
Wow.
And so that's it, man. Like passion and help, man. Like those two things, like the passion that he displayed got me to become neutral. And then finally, when he stopped asking me to join and started asking me to help, like I loved this guy. And there was no risk to me, right? So I always, tell people that too, right?
Yeah.
We all want to help other people. But we don't want it to be risky.
Yeah.
We don't want to lose our money. We don't want to lose our time. We don't want to lose our reputation. I was afraid of all that stuff. But when he asked me to help, he made it risk-free for me. He said, just help me ship so I can get to all the phone calls. You won't have to speak. You won't have to travel. You don't have to be the face of the company. You don't have to learn the compensation plan. You don't have to talk to the distributors. Just let me do all that. I just really need this help. Can you please help me? And man, that just changed everything for me. I was like, and I want to be honest with you. And to everyone that's watching. I said, fine, but don't let anybody know I'm doing this. I don't want my family knowing I'm involved, because I thought it was all scam, right? Like, why are we doing this? Like, this is crazy. And years later, I started to learn exactly what we were a part of. But man, those two moments, man, like turned me from neutral to advocate. And listen, man, I'm just going to say this. It's been almost 20 years. I am that person that I said I would never be.
Wow.
I am the face. I am the traveler. I am the one doing the, all the trainings and all that stuff. And it's changed my life.
Because the passion has now been passed off to you.
100%. Man.
Listen, guys, I want you to, and now you fast forward 20 years.
Yeah, almost 20.
I don't know,
19.
A very big company. I don't know what you can actually, what's the size of, the company?
We're trending towards $1 billion in sales per year.
Yes.
We
Trending
have,
towards $1 billion of sales per year,
yes.
ladies and gentlemen. Come on. And
yeah.
serving how many? I mean,
right now we have 130,000 active distributors, which basically means like they're on a monthly basis. They're active.
How many customers?
Oh my God, 1 million plus.
Million plus customers.
It's amazing, man.
Now,
it really is.
Did Jack get? Oh, there he is. Hey,
coming.
hey, welcome. Oh, is he mic'd up? We got a mic for him? Okay. I was about to give him some love.
Yeah.
It would have been a perfect time for him to run in.
Well, he's
right?
almost here, but you know, I think a good segue for him is, I'm gonna tell you, like the last little piece where my belief, we talked about belief right in the beginning, right? And you said, hey, is there any non-believers out there? I was a non-believer forever, man. I really, really was. But one of the last things he said to me that I remember not appreciating that I didn't believe was that about 20 years ago, when he finally asked me for that help, I finally reluctantly kind of started to help him. I remember one of the things he said to me in the beginning is he said, we're going to change the world. People all around the world are going to buy our products, and we're going to have a relationship with every single one of them. And I was like, man, this guy is off his rocker, man. Like, I didn't believe that, and I feel so much regret for not believing that. So now the adrenaline I feed off of, and like I jump out of bed in the morning and I'm like, I'm like depressed to go to bed at night. I wish there was more hours in the day, is because I'm working off of that regret, man, that regret adrenaline. Like, I've got to make up for that because I see the people. I touch the people. We talk to them. We have a relationship with our customers, with our life changers is what we call our distributors, right? Because we're telling them, go out there and change some lives, man. It's not just about physical health either. It's about mental health and spiritual health, and how it all ties in. And it's just, it's been one hell of a story.
Hey guys, listen. So we've talked about 1P here, and I'm about to tell you 2 more Ps with the founder here in just a second. The first P, like this isn't like you might not have a physical product. You might not have a network marketing company or a physical product company or whatever, but you've got a message that you think can make a difference in this world. And the first thing I need you to hear are people aren't going to believe you until you bring passion to it. Until you bring passion to it. Passion is what captured his attention. But there's 2 more P's that these guys do really, really well that I don't want to stop with. I believe these 3 P's are the P's that have allowed them to build what they have built, trending towards $1 billion in sales on an annual basis. So would y'all welcome, he can only see one of our backstage Zoom room VIPs. Would y'all welcome to the stage, Mr. Jack Fallon? Give it up, let me see it, backstagers. Yeah, yes, come on over.
Thank you, thank you.
So we just got the Genesis story. So this guy these guys are amazing. Like my family my wife and our whole family is in Michigan. We'll be up there at Thanksgiving. We're up there a couple of times a year. These are some of the hardest working people in the world. Like, they work their tails off. And so you got to hear about the passion of the message that this guy had for people's health. For people's health. Right now, we're getting to help them even take that to a whole different level with this idea of My Health Matters. And it's about the message just continuing to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But there's 2 other P's, Jack. He talked about the passion you had to capture him. It's the passion I felt when I met you. It's the passion that everybody in that room in 100 different nations feels today. But there's 2 other things you guys do well. And it's your products, and I feel like you care about the people. Like every person, whether it's your team, the customer, whatever. But I feel like in order to build a powerful platform, whatever they're trying to do, coaching, services, physical products, I feel like you have to obsess over the products and the people. Will you talk about those 2 and why they're so important to you?
Oh, for sure. Those are my favorite subjects.
Yes.
Well, the products, a lot of people don't understand products, including ourselves, where we had to continue to educate ourselves and learn how products, they evolve just like technology. They really, truly do, and people don't realize that. So what we kept doing is going back to the manufacturer saying, okay, this is a great product, but you can make it better, right? Because we're feeding people all over the world right now, so you could take a small product and make it better. technology enables that. So it's just continuously pushing the envelope. You might have a great product, and I think we all grew up in the same era where it was like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Well, products are different. You can continue to fix them, right, and make them better. So that's one of our passions. Ask Johnny. I mean, we get products sent to us on a weekly basis from manufacturers saying, try this, try that, try this. Because obviously if they hit a home run, they have instant sales. So we scrutinize our products and continue to add or make better. So it's one of our passions. And then the people.
So let me ask you a question
Sure.
for them on this. So in them creating their products, whether it's physical products, digital products, service products, whatever type of products they're trying to create, how important, like, what would you say to them around, like, the power of creating great products versus just average products, what that will do for them in the long run?
Well, first and foremost, you sometimes you have to get started. So
Yes, you do. Good point. I love that.
Get started first, and then work your way into get a product that somebody's going to appreciate, whatever that product is, and then always have in your back of mind, I'm going to make it better. See, what happens sometimes, I think people like, oh, I'm going to make the ultimate. Well, the ultimate might take you so long that you could have got started. It's like the old Henry Ford story. It's like everyone that comes up with something, just get it out there. Let that thing have some wheels and get some traction, and then know in the back of your mind, I'm going to make this better. I'm going to make it better. I'm going to depend on technology to make this product better.
I love that. And what about the people? Like, I feel like when you care about the people, your customers, whether that be your distributors, your customers, whether that be their customers, like, tomorrow we're talking in depth about this with Tim Tebow and Bethany Hamilton and another gentleman. But when you care about the people, it feels like everything else takes care of itself.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, you can always start off in your mind saying, okay, well, I'm going to monetize, but you don't, and it's very difficult to do that. And so you have to start looking at other companies where the people come first, or it's customer service, or it's like Tesla. Tesla came out with a car, obviously because they cared about the environment. But if you go inside the car, it's all people driven. Like they have when you leave your dog in the car, like it will instantly continue to give it air conditioning. I mean, there's so many things in that car. So when they developed that, they said, we're going to put the people first. Like everything you think of when you got in a car, Tesla's like, okay, let's humanize this.
Wow.
Let's humanize this car. So any product that you're looking to create, make sure you humanize it. And then that will pull you in the direction of putting the person and the people first. And you're right, it does take care of everything else.
Wow, guys, I had a massive aha of the days. I have not spent enough time sitting in the seat of the person. Like literally sitting there.
Yeah.
Sitting there for a minute. I just had this breakthrough. Because what I love about these guys is they're in the direct selling and network marketing space, but they're trying to create a category of their own. They think like Tesla and Apple and those people. They're like, how do we get ourselves into the ultimate health and wellness side of things? But I don't think we spend enough time sitting in the seat of the person, because we even forgot who that person was, which was us.
Right.
Sometimes we forget that. And when we can think of every angle, I think about Tesla, my dog's back there. What about the kids? What about whenever like I hit my head on this? Or what if I forget my key? Like they've probably thought about every mistake or error or thing that brings us anxiety in that car as a human.
Right.
And they solve to it.
Right.
And if we can actually sit in the seat of the customer, and don't forget, you were that person, or you are that person, but I don't spend enough time doing that. And if we will spend more time doing that, we'll know everything that the person wants. You got something on that, don't you?
I mean, honestly, I just wanted to add, like, when people feel like you care, they're willing to share your product, your service, your movement, right? So, like, the thing with Tesla, right? Like, they care about pets too, right? So it's kind of like now, like, someone's going to take that message to their neighbors, to their coworkers, to the people they go to church with, and say, "Man, you got to look into Tesla."
The
like,
Pet Lovers Club is going to be like Tesla.
They care about people. They care about animals. Like they care about pets, right? Like if they know that you care, they're going to share. You need people to share. Like we're in a cool business model, right? Like people are who shares for us. It's not billboards, it's not TV stations, right? It's not even social media to a certain extent, especially mass media wise. But like if people know that you care, man, they're so willing to share, man. Like they don't care if they're not making money off of it. They don't care about any of that stuff, man. It's like I love what these people stand for. I love what they've got going on. And I mean, the only other thing I wanted to add as you guys were talking is like, great products are important, or even a great service that provide a feeling.
Right.
Man, like they got to feel it. You know what I mean? Like the microwave, let's just say, right? They invented the microwave, right? Like yeah, it heats up food fast and you can cook in there and stuff, right? But like if some woman out there or man like says to themselves like, man, I can spend more time with my family now. Like that feeling of like, man, this thing did this for me.
Yeah.
Like, right? Like, it's that feeling, the product, the service, and that's what people remember.
Right.
And that's why they want to buy, join, be part of your nonprofit, all of that stuff, man. It's how'd you make them feel? They're going to remember that forever.
Man. Hey, last question, because you guys are running a big event over there. You got a lot of people over there. So, and I'll start with John, and then I'll come to Jack to end this. So you had this feeling, this message. Like ultimately it was this message that you felt, and it turned into products and manifested itself into a company, that you went to the GM floor in 1999 and you shared with John, and you were so passionate about this message. Every single person watching, and there's every day tens of thousands of people watching, have this message in them. And some of them haven't started it. Some of them have kind of started it. And some of them have really done some things, but they're trying to take it to the next level. What would you say to that person who has that burning message, that passionate thing that they know can change the world, but they can't change it unless they actually get more people and build their platform? What would you say to those people, John?
Man, I would say keep on sharing that passion, man, as loudly as you can. And there's going to be the detractors, there are going to be the naysayers. Your family and friends are top on that list. They're going to tell you that ain't going to happen, that ain't possible.
Grant Cardone said 2 days ago, they are usually, it doesn't matter what your message is or what your industry is. Your family and friends are the ones that will.
Yeah.
And that's a message within and of itself. That's our story too, right? And it's kind of like, I think with every business, this happens. And I don't know what it is about human behavior, but like when the strangers start getting excited about your products, your services, your business, your nonprofit, your organization, all of a sudden the family notices and they're like, hey, are you guys still doing that thing? Like, you know what I mean? Or, hey, I'm interested in the vitamin now or whatever, right? It's kind of like the stranger, you got to get their attention first, right? It's crazy, but you see it over and over and over again. And I think that's important for people to know. Like, don't get frustrated in the beginning when your friends and your family and even your coworkers start telling you that ain't gonna work or that's stupid. Or like, if you're a passionate man, just keep on sharing that passion. You're gonna run into guys like me and Jack who are like, you're gonna get our attention with that passion.
Yeah.
And we're gonna listen.
Wow.
They're out there, man. There's men and women out there who are moved by passionate people. We believe passionate people are gonna change the world.
I love it.
That's it, man. Like,
Dude,
really, really, I think passionate people really can change the world, man. And I didn't believe that 20 years ago. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't believe that 20 years ago.
Wow.
But when I started to realize, like, man, having a relationship with our customers is really damn cool.
Wow.
It really, really is, man.
I love that. How about you? All those people, they all have messages out there, bro, and they have something they feel can change this world. What would you say to them?
Well, I mean, don't stop. But if you do run into roadblocks, you invite them in. Invite failure. Invite failure every day, because that's the only way you're going to learn and grow. So you just keep that in the back of your mind. You want to fail. And if there's a roadblock that you think you can't overcome, continue to write down, like physically write down how you're going to overcome it or what you need to do to overcome that. And then always take a step back and humanize your product or your service that you're looking to market. That usually will click something else in the side of your brain that will say, oh, okay, this makes sense. But now you're in a conversation with yourself on a daily basis. You've invited failure in, you're writing what you want to accomplish down, and then the third, you're humanizing it so you can't go wrong, because we're all connected. And if you humanize something that's going to make the planet or someone's life a little bit better, there's a good chance the universe is going to conspire on your side and you're going to hit a home run.
I love that. Hey, guys, will y'all give it up for Jack and John, my buddies here, two amazing friends.
Thank you.
Give it up for them.